What's up, dudes? So, this is before we're going to see a movie, and we're eating at a Taco Bell. Taco Bell. Yeah, it's already done. We're drinking coffee. What are you doing?
Drinking Taco Bell coffee.
So, tell me about your expectations for the movie.
I hope it's bloody action-like. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of Spanish, so...
Don't worry, they'll have subtitles for you. It'll be okay.
Hey, it's just practice, though.
Any other expectations?
I think Josh Brolin and Benicio Del Toro should kill this, so I have a feeling it's going to be a good movie.
Like they're going to stab the movie?
Well, like, you know, like, they did a good job acting and stuff.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you know, it's not your mind games.
Anything else? Like, how come Emily Blunt's not in the movie?
See, that I don't know.
Yeah, we should look that up and include it in the interview.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I think it's probably going to be bloody. It's probably going to be bloody, right?
Yeah.
Is there anybody new that's going to be in the movie that wasn't in the last one that you know of?
It's supposed to be this young girl. I don't know the actress's name, but she plays an integral part in the story.
Alright. It's me again. So, you just heard from the Bureau about what he was expecting from the movie. And me somewhat, but you didn't see my other face. So, here it is. We're going to figure out who that actress is and look at the cast before we do the review. So, hopefully you'll get to follow us somewhat on the way to the theater, just like last time, and we'll see you later. Bye. Yet another movie to go see. I know. I was skimming on when I did.
I know who you are. You're the attorney whose family they killed.
Not they.
My father.
Póntelos.
And now you hunt them.
Adiós.
Hey.
What's up?
You know who we are, I hope.
Yeah, Captain Gimpy and Zamburo.
So what did we see?
Speaking of donkeys, yeah.
Oh shit, yeah.
because, you know, we saw Sicario Day of the Soldado, or Soldado, if you're in another country.
Yeah, so apparently we didn't know this, right?
Yeah.
But apparently it's not called Sicario in other countries, it's just called Soldado, so
Yeah.
this is technically Soldado 2.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't speak it in Spanish, Soldado just means soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, it sounds better in the language.
Yeah, it does. It sounds weird if you just translate
Soldier.
it. Soldier 2! I don't know, dude. That just wouldn't work in English. So
Yeah.
I just call it Soldado. So here's the weird thing. For this movie, we actually watched the first one
Yep.
again yesterday.
Yeah.
So we'd have a clear idea of what the plot was, only wasn't really necessary.
Yeah, this movie, it still has the same type of moral ambiguity as the first film has, but for one, if you've seen the first movie, Emily Blunt's character is not in this one.
Not at all.
Yeah,
Not
even a reference.
Yeah, that's what it is, exactly.
Yeah.
She's not even mentioned
Yeah.
whatsoever. So there's that.
Yeah. So, and her character in the first film was kind of like that. I guess the moral anchor point, I guess you could call it.
I called it the annoying one.
Yeah.
Because for me, that was just really annoying. Mostly because her partner's character, right, did the same thing she did.
Yeah, so there was like no, like, I guess balance except for Del Toro's character, Benicio Del Toro's character, and Josh Brolin's.
Because Benicio Del Toro's character is morally ambiguous.
Yeah.
Like, he has a moral compass, but he's focused on getting vengeance.
Yeah.
Because you find out, if you guys don't remember, they mentioned it again in the second film, like, somebody who was hired by one of the biggest cartels in the movie, not a real cartel that actually exists in Mexico, they made all that up.
Yeah.
But somebody from one of the big cartels had his family killed in a gruesome way. They threw his daughter into a vat of acid and, like, beheaded his wife. So, he wants to kill them, and to be honest with you, as far as character motivation goes, I don't really blame him.
Yeah.
So, something you need to know going into the second film, there are no airtight plot connections between the first and the second film.
Yeah.
It's in the same world, the same sort of thing exists. He's still on the same mission, but all of that stuff can be constructed independently of the first movie, so there's no real need to rewatch the first film before you go see this.
Yeah, honestly, not really. They kind of feel isolated from each other, but they were written by the same person. I think his name's Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah. I believe he was on Sons of Anarchy, like you were mentioning before. I remember seeing him in the credits. I forgot who he plays. So most of the people are back. Most of the important people are back, like Jeffrey Donovan from Burn Notice and the Hulu series Shut Eye. You have Benicio Del Toro from everything that people get mixed up with Antonio Banderas.
For some mysterious reason.
People do. I don't know why. And then they introduce a somewhat new actress. She's not really new. She does a lot of random stuff. Her name's like Isabella Monet or something like that. And she's Peruvian. She's not Mexican, but she plays Mexican. She does pretty well. She's actually born in the States. She pulls off the character pretty well. She speaks Spanish in the movie pretty well too. Which is something I have to comment on later. Some of the characters, I saw the subtitles, I heard the Spanish, and the Spanish was pretty bad, and the subtitles just covered it up sometimes. So if you don't know Spanish, you won't care. I was just like, some of these people can't...
some of the Spanish was weird, and I understand, like, a little bit now.
It was kind of bad. And not throughout the movie, but there were a couple parts that were really super obvious that the character...
Didn't say that?
The person actually couldn't speak Spanish.
Or the subtitles say one thing, whereas if you actually know Spanish,
the character kind of said something else.
Different.
I mean, it's the same general idea, but lacking the flavor, let's say. So there's that. But as a movie, how was it?
As a movie, I thought it was pretty good. We got to see more of Del Toro's character. We got to see more of his past, because there was a scene in the movie where he and Isabel's character are wandering through the desert, and they stumble upon this, I think he's a farmer, or something like that.
Or just some dude.
He can't speak, but he knows sign language.
He's deaf.
And they were signing, and the man asked Del Toro's character, Alejandro, how he knows sign language. He's like, oh, my daughter is deaf, or was deaf.
Although, okay, so that was a weird thing. I couldn't tell if it was Mexican Sign Language or ASL.
That's something we should look up, because...
okay, there were some signs that were very clearly ASL, like... Help.
Like help.
But then daughter, he did something weird that looked almost like dentist in ASL. And
so we don't know if it's, like, something from Mexico, or if the dude just knows, or if the Mexican system of sign language takes some signs from...
What I do know is that a lot of sign languages are based on ASL, because a lot of people have come from here to help teach sign to people in other countries, and then later it's adapted.
Yeah.
So that it's specific to that country.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be the thing, and it probably is.
Yeah, but I thought that was a pretty interesting scene.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it was a little thing, but, you know, it was something that most movies wouldn't have even...
Yeah, and it actually didn't try to hide the signs from you.
Right, it actually showed them signing, which is like, hey, like, I know some of this. Yeah, so that was cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a little thing, but I thought it was pretty cool. The action itself, like the first film, was brutal and...
And it was even more than the previous movie.
Yeah.
Because the previous movie kind of did this thing where you were in the middle of the action, but it never showed you anything.
Mm-hmm.
Minus toward the end of the film when it was just Benicio Del Toro on a mission.
Yeah.
Then it got brutal.
Yep.
This movie did not spare you anything. How do I put this politely? For some of the more overtly patriotic types, this movie might piss you off. Because it does touch on themes that have to do with things that the U.S. government has actually done in Latin America south of the border.
Yeah.
So if you think that's all bullshit and you think it's a conspiracy, you probably don't want to watch this movie because it's going to make you mad.
Yeah, and the first film also
Same.
kind of explored those things too.
Yeah, it did. So if you're one of those people, I got nothing against you, but this might not be the film for you.
Yeah.
The other thing that I found weird, and this is my only real critique against the film, is it felt slightly disjointed if you take the film as a whole.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, they did something weird where they had some suicide bombers, and they were clearly portraying Muslim people. Regardless of what ethnicity the actors were.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing. They were on the border of Texas and Mexico, and then there was a scene in Kansas. I was going to say Kansas. No, Kansas. Okay. Yeah, Kansas, right? And there were some suicide bombings, and there was a scene in the Texas location where there were like 3 prayer rugs that were just there, and then they were like, oh, prayer rugs. Like, a dude literally said that. I was like, thank you, Captain Obvious.
Yeah, so...
You didn't need that. And it looked like they were going to go in that direction and kind of tie it into the whole Mexican drug cartel thing that they established with the first film, but they never even picked up the thread again.
Yeah, so that was a little disorienting.
So maybe they'll do another film that kind of centers around that, but probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know why that was there. I can only surmise that maybe they had one idea, they started production on that, and rather than waste the footage, maybe they just found a way to work it.
Yeah.
And it worked out pretty well.
Yep.
Not necessarily the best, but it was pretty good. I've seen a lot worse.
Yeah.
So, let's see, what else can I say? I would definitely recommend it if you like the first film. Because I did like the first film.
Same here, I would as well.
So, yeah, I would definitely recommend going to see it.
Yep.
Unless potential things lead you to think of what you believe are fake conspiracies, in which case, no. But most people don't think that, so go see it.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah.
Sicario, Day of the Soldado.
Yeah, that's what it's called, by the way.
Yeah. Just remember, Day of the Soldier. Alright, guys.
Yeah, Day of los Soldados.
Yep.
Alright.